newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
It is now 12 hours 18. Coming up next, the National Outlook with GHK Lall.
Good morning. It's Friday, February 19th. GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Welcome to our Friday's edition of the National Outlook. You know, we've been talking about local content policy since late last. We've been talking about it for a while, but it heated up and it came on the front burner late last week when His Excellency President Lall committed to having consultations, wide-ranging consultations, beginning from Monday, which was Monday of this week. Earlier this week. He's been true to his word on that, and he said it's going to involve the widest possible cross-section of the Guyanese population. Good, good, good. So here am I on Friday morning, the last working day of the week, talking about what former Minister of Public Infrastructure, now responsible for oil and gas, shadow minister in the opposition for oil and gas, Mr. David Patterson, saying opposition received no invite to draft local content policy consultation. I don't think that Mr. Patterson made that up. I don't think so. So how could this be? Why is this happening? Why was no invitation sent to the coalition opposition for it to be present? If it wanted to boycott, let it boycott. Let it make that decision and be called to account for boycotting local content policy consultations. But according to Mr. Patterson, who has responsibility in the opposition for oil and gas, there was no invitation. They weren't even sent, as far as I could see, the draft documents, but they are still, the opposition is still conducting its own review and its own work, and it plans and has promised to comment at the appropriate time on how it sees this thing should work out. The opposition represents, whether the government likes it or not, whether you and I like it or not, and I supported the opposition, let's be clear about that. I still have fond feelings for it. Represents over 200,000 Guyanese voters. That's 200,000 adults. So that's tens of thousands of families scattered across the country. I think that when the president speaks about wide-ranging consultation, he would want to include the representatives of those people. Would you think? I think so. I think that's sensible. I think that's constructive. And I think that's practical. It brings all of us at the table, and we agreeing voices, dissenting voices. This should be in, this should not be in. This is good, this is not so good. This needs tweaking, improving. But yet we hear that former Minister Patterson is saying that we in the coalition, we in the opposition, were not even treated to the courtesy of an invitation. I think the president needs to look into this. He needs to ask his people why. That is, unless he knows that it was deliberate. I mean, you sit in a room with a whole slew of people from all sectors, of this country, particularly the private sector, which is known to be very well aligned with the PPP government. No mistake was made there. No slight was extended there. But it can't be for the people, just for the people who are agreeing with you. I say respectfully to the President, this is not the way to manage properly, to manage to the best of our abilities, our local content policy, and the contents of what goes into that local content policy. I think we can do better. I think that we have to start somewhere in attempting to do better by doing those things that are progressive for this society. All can make us progress and prosper, but we have to do it right. Until the next time, this is GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for joining us on the National Outlook, and do have a blessed and peaceful weekend.
Shot man, what you gonna say?